Or more lessons, actually. All right. So Calvin and Hobbes is visiting us today. We're going to be doing parallel and perpendicular lines. We're going to spend most of our time with the parallel ones, but mentioning the perpendicular ones. We've did a little bit with perpendicular and right angles, but we're going to start talking about parallel ones. This is actually the first section of this unit, although we reviewed algebra first. Okay. There's some vocabulary. I think these are on your page. Yes, they are. And you're going to fill in the blanks. We've got some parallel lines. We talked about them on the last one, what they were, and here is like the official definition. Lines that are coplanar and do not intersect.
Really?
You should be writing your notes. This is your assignment sheet. There you go, right there, vocabulary. Parallel lines are lines that are coplanar and do not intersect. We have seen them before. You have, if I draw a line, I have to get it in the same, these ones would not be parallel, right? Because eventually they're going to meet, especially since I have it on both ends. These would not be parallel, for sure. But if I made it the same slant or what we called slope, they would be parallel, all right? I've just given you some examples of parallel lines. The next one is called skew. This is going to be, for many of you, it's going to be a new vocabulary word. Parallel probably was not. Skew will be. Lines that are not coplanar and don't intersect. And these are going to be impossible for me to draw. I will have to get two pencils or two something to show you. So you won't be able to see them on the video. All right? So skew lines are lines that are not coplanar but don't intersect. So here's a line. These ones are parallel. They're on the same plane. Even I could put them on the table. They'd be on the same plane. Skew, I would have to come like this and then turn it. These will not intersect because this one's down below and this one's up here, but they're not parallel. They're not running in the same slope, but they're skew now. So they don't intersect, but they're not in the same plane. If this was in the same plane, they would intersect. But now they're not in the same plane and they still won't intersect. So this has to take a 3D effect. You have to imagine these pencils going on forever, okay? Did I borrow them from here?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to steal them.
Okay.
Skew lines. The last one are called perpendicular. Excuse me, parallel planes. I'm sorry, we already did perpendicular. Parallel planes now are going to be two planes that don't intersect. I would have to show you those with a piece of paper. And I have plenty over here to show you. All right, so we got some planes that look like they're going to be parallel, right? They're going to go forever and ever. Now these would not, because these are going to keep going forever, and they're going to hit. So they look like parallel lines that are just extended flat, okay? Questions? All right, so I've got some questions. They're on your paper there. We're going to try some of these. Which of the lines appear to fit the description? The number one, are they parallel to AB and contains D? Number two, I'll let you do 1, 2, and 3 and see if you can figure them out. Give me like a heads up and eyes up so I can see that you are finished. Please do 1, 2, and 3 on your paper. I'll bring the answer up next, so I can't bring them up on the screen. So if you have them on your paper, though, you can do them.
Wait, do you need to do all of them?
Please do.
Okay.
Please do 1, 2, and 3. Line parallel to AB and contains D.
Contains D?
Mm-hmm.
No, that one I got, but 3 I'm confused on.
Okay. Maybe I should say it like this. How many are finished as far as they can go? Like they don't have one of the answers or two of the answers. They're done as far as they can go. I've got, I think, one of them. All right. Parallel to AB and contains, I'm gonna draw this. We're gonna do this one together. I've got AB right there, correct? And I need something parallel. There are a lot of things parallel. That this EF, wait, I didn't do it right. This EF is parallel. This GH is parallel. But why are those not the answer? Because it doesn't contain D. Which one does contain D?
DC.
DC, that is correct. There we go. And I called it CD, but if you call it DC, that would be fine. Notice mine are in alphabetical order. That doesn't make mine right, but that is generally, I think, the way they do it. All right, number 2. Now this time it's very similar in the question. This time it's perpendicular to B and containing D. There are lots of things perpendicular to AB. Here's AB again. Oh, bad. I can't even pick it up. Anyway, there we go. There's a lot of things perpendicular. That AE on that right next to it, all those here, but some of them don't contain D. Which one contains D?
AD.
AD, very good. There's tons of them that are. There's this one here that's perpendicular here and there, but it doesn't contain. Only AD does. All right.
But these are rays, not lines, right?
That's correct. These are actually segments. I should have little teeny lines over them. These are all segments. But my little thing that I was drawing has an arrow on it. Now, and I'm going to point out that notice that there are 4 other segments that are perpendicular to AD, but they're not part of the answer. Okay. Number 3, this time was skew to AB. So it can't be parallel,
Is it DH?
and it contains D. I heard
DH and DG. I put.
that we got people who have 2 different answers.
I just put one because I'm lazy.
Okay, so, so which one did you pick, Brad?
DH.
DH, yes. And you picked?
I did both. I did DH and DT.
I have one more. There's one more.
DE.
DE.
But
And
DE. Oh yeah, I keep thinking. Yeah, DE.
they're all possible. It didn't say to list all of them. It said to list one of them, so you are okay to just do one of them. Make sure that you read the instructions on any homework that you might do in case it says to list every possibility. Okay.
I'm so good.
All right. And it might be good to at least write those on your paper, because if your dad's helping you or your mom's helping you, and they're like, "How come you didn't write the other ones? Aren't they you too?" Because they might be doing it with you. All right, we're going to be talking about some rules. There is nothing for you to write down on this screen, and we're going to give you a chance to watch little Hobbs here, because he's going to go away pretty soon. There we go. I didn't want you to get distracted, so I thought we'd go watch Hobbs. He's seeing his little tail, and he's, oh my goodness, and then he's going to try to catch it, and he's going to splat.
I thought it was a cat, not a dog.
Did I say dog? It's a,
No, but cats.
oh, cats do they don't usually chase their tail. He's actually supposed to be just a stuffed toy that Hobbs' imagination goes crazy. I mean Calvin's imagination. All right, so here he goes. We have a parallel postulate, okay? And you have these in your note sheets, at your term sheet, so you do not have to write anything down. We're going to talk about this though. And actually, I apologize. We're going to talk about 2 of these today. You should probably get this out. There's the next slide doesn't have the things to write on. My bad. We're going to draw this. We're going to. You have some term sheets. They look like. They look
are they,
like.
Quizlet sheet.
It's your Quizlet sheet. Yes.
With blanks.
With some blanks. That's
Quizlet
right. Your
sheet
Quizlet
with
with
blanks.
blanks. You're going to fill in those blanks.
Oh yeah.
You're going to later, not this lesson, not until next week. All right, but
Write
next
down.
to them, you have room to draw a picture. Okay.
It doesn't actually say it.
Okay, you have room to draw a picture. We're going to see what kind of picture we can draw from this. If there is a line and a point not on the line, so that's the part you have to draw. So I'm going to draw a line. Mine's going to look like a ray because I can't do it on both ends.
Are you supposed to just like?
Next to it, I've got a line. I guess I can do it both. I can't. And a point. I have a point not on the line. Now I'm going to give a point right there.
Just
Okay. It says, the comma here now has the then. Then there is exactly one line through the point that is parallel. I can only do one line through that will be parallel to here. There's no more. Only one. Okay? That's what the parallel postulate says.
Wait, are these allowed to go on our postulate in terms
Yes,
of?
every single one of those can go on your postulate. Okay? plus the blanks when you get there. Okay.
I'll go with you.
All right. You might want to leave blanks in your or you can figure out what they are. Perpendicular postulate. You have this one in there already. If there is a line and a point not on a line, comma, I'm going to do the same thing I had before. I'm going to bring out my little line. I'm going to ask you to just use your imaginations. Please pretend there's an arrow on the other end. And then I'm going to put a dot point. How many lines can I draw through that point that's perpendicular to that line according to this? Only one. And they make it very clear. They say exactly one, not like a 1.5 or 1.2 or exactly one. Not that we can have decimals of lines since they go on forever. All right? So if you need to have pictures inside your postulate book, you can draw those. Okay? All right. We have a new construction. I'm going to pause this so we can do that together. Get out you have a paper with at the bottom, I think at that note sheet, if you turn it over, you have instructions, and you also on the next page have a place to do the construction. Okay?
It's going to take me some.
I'm going to give you some vocabulary, and for the moment, I just want you to watch. Don't stress about it, because I will be giving you a place to write these things down in a moment. Okay? All right. The first thing we're going to talk about... Oh, did you get to watch Calvin?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What?
Calvin and Hobbes are up there. All right. I'm going to be giving you two lines. In this case, today they are parallel, but they don't have to be parallel. And I'm giving you another line that's going through both of them, and it's called a transversal. You'll have that written down in a moment. All right. There are now 8 angles. I have numbered them on here. And some of them are called corresponding. I'm going to bring up a color on this one, and it highlighted the 1 and the 5. Those are corresponding. Let me explain why. On this top part, the 1 is on the top left, and the 5 is on the top left. I'm going to highlight some more that are corresponding. I'm going to go, the 3 is the bottom left. What's the bottom left over here?
7.
So 7 and 3 are corresponding. 2 and 6 are corresponding. And 4 and 8. Again, you don't have to write this down. You will have a place to write all these down in just a moment. Just watch. The next vocabulary word is alternate exterior angles. Okay? We have an interior part of this. We have an interior and we have exterior. Okay? The interior are between the two lines. The exterior on the outside. If 1 is one of the exteriors, 7 or 8 are the other exteriors, but which one would be the alternate, do you think? 7 or 8?
8.
Because
It's on the opposite.
it's on the opposite side of that transversal. It's on the alternate side of the transversal, okay? So those two are called alternate exterior angles. So if I do 7, what's its alternate exterior? I just pointed. If I have 2, I told you the answer. What's the other alternate exterior? 7. They go together. Can I have an alternate exterior with 4?
No.
Because
It's on the
it's on the inside, so it doesn't have an alternate exterior. Okay. All right.
So to the right is on the inside and to the left is on the outside?
So it's just whatever. So it's just whatever's on the opposite of. So if I picked 2, the alternate one will be on the other side of the transversal, so it would be the 7. If I picked the 1, the alternate would have been the 8. Okay? All right. Next vocabulary.
I think what he was asking is like, how do we know if it doesn't have one?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. I apologize.
No,
Thank
it's
you
on
for
the
clarifying. Because if it doesn't have an alternate exterior, or if it's because this was on the interior, it will not have an alternate exterior.
So how do we know if it's on the interior?
Okay,
Is it
good question.
To the right of the line is the interior?
No, these 2 lines are the 2 lines we're doing, and this is the interior. That's inside the 2 of them.
Okay.
And then this
So
part out
3 and
here
4
is the
and-
exterior
So
one.
So
Those are
3
two
and 4
lines.
and 5 and 6 won't have any.
They won't have alternate exterior angles. That is correct. Because they're on the interior and not on the exterior.
So it's the interior is inside of the 2 lines.
That's correct. Okay. I'm so excited. Thank you, guys. Thank you for helping me know that I didn't answer his question, and thank you for asking a question. Now we're going to talk about alternate interior now. So we've talked about alternate exterior, and now we're going to talk about alternate interior. So then what 4 numbers are on the interior?
3, 4, 5, 6.
So with 3, which one will be its alternate?
6.
6. With 5, which will be its alternate?
4.
4. Okay, good. Mathematicians don't like to beat around. They want to, it's the alternate and it's the interior. Hopefully it makes, they're gonna name it what it's like. Now we have something. We have, come on, same side interior. So what numbers again are the interior?
3, 4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 5, and 6. But with 3, this time we're doing the same side interior. So what will be the same side as 3?
5.
5. What will be the same side as 6?
4.
4. Okay, so we're going to now use all the things we did, and now you can write some things down. I have something to hand out to you to go into your notes. Come on.
Wait,
Oh, I've given you.
This?
No, I'll show it to you. It's a handout that I'm going to hand to you right now. I'm going to give it to you right now. I tried to pick a neutral gender color. Not that you're neutral gender, but that way not everybody feels like I'm getting pink or something. All right. I've given you something. We're going to fill this out together. I've got pictures up here of what I've made. I made one last night. These are going to be on the outside. I'm going to pull some stuff out. You have something at the top. All right. The top you're going to draw 2 lines and a transversal. You're going to label that that's the transversal. You're going to label the exterior and the interior.
So that's the very, very top.
Yes, that little box at the very, very top. That's right. Yes, and if I have, if any of you likes to use color, like here's some color. I've got plenty here.
I'll just highlight.
Or you can maybe do it in pencil now and go home later and trace over the top. It would be a good review, but that's totally up to you. All right, how are we doing? Good? All right, now, this very top, I have put rectangles in there. You do not have to put rectangles. That's the very top. Today, you will put nothing on them. This note sheet that I'm giving you right now, we will use it next week to add to them, okay? So I am going to have you draw 2 lines right here.
On the
Two, in this case, they're parallel, a transversal, and then some dots in those 2 positions. Okay?
Do we need to draw the transversal line?
Please draw the transversal line. Yes. Don't put any words on it, though. Okay? Next door.
Flashcard now?
Pardon me?
Is this kind of
Kind of like a flashcard. You could quiz yourself with this if you wanted to. Next door.
Does it need to be on the inside or the outside of the card?
This is the outside. Outside, yes. Again, you're going to give yourself some parallel lines and a transversal, or just 2 lines and a transversal. And then I want you to put dots in those 2 locations, please. Next, you're going to give yourself 2 lines, a transversal, and you're going to put your dots at those locations. All right. Now, I'm going to give the same thing, but different dots. You're going to give yourself 2 lines, a transversal, and put them in those spots.
Does it matter which way the line's going through?
No, I have noticed my transversals going at different variations.
Okay. Wait. Okay, so if I did the line going the opposite way, would I have to change the side that the...
You can go, that's the top
I'd have to
left.
do it on this side?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's top left, and you're going to go top left on the bottom.
Or
No, bottom.
it would be inside.
There you go.
So if I did do it reverse, I'd have to do that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Next one, we're doing 2 lines of transversal and in those positions.
And it doesn't matter which side the dots stay on the same side no matter what angle your transversal is at, correct?
You could kind of change this slightly. Let me see what you did.
But like
You did fine. Yes.
the dots stay in the same position, but the transversal, no matter what, like
Yes.
the angle
Yes.
of the transversal.
Yes. And here's the last one. Now we're going to put their names in there. After you get that, we're going to open them up and put their names in. There's going to be some relationships with these angles later, but today we're only doing vocabulary. Okay? So we're going to open them up. We're going to open this one first. I've got mine open already. We're going to do this one first. You'll close it. Do you guys remember what those are called? You learned them before. What kind of angles are those?
Vertical.
Yes, they're vertical. They're vertical. And you can write angles if you wanted. I wrote vertical on mine when I made mine. Those are just review. Over here's coming next on the right side. And what are the kind of angles are those?
Linear pairs.
Linear pairs. Oh, and they're adjacent. You can write either one. Actually, I'd write both if I were you. They're adjacent and they're linear pair. On your homework tonight, they're going to, or tonight or whenever you do it, the option won't be to write linear pair. They'll ask you for the word adjacent, so you might want to write both. It's only one word. It's better than writing linear pair, right?
Yeah, it's just another thing to remember.
Okay, so next we're going back over to the left. Which ones were those? Do you remember what those were called? It's brand new, so you might not remember. Those were called corresponding. Corresponding. We're going to go back over to the right. Are those alternate or same side? If you look at these, are they on the same side of the transverse or the alternate? They're alternate. Are they on the exterior or the interior? So they're alternate exterior angles. We're moving back over to the left. Are those on the same side or on the opposite sides?
Alternate.
So they're alternate. Are they interior or exterior?
Interior.
Alternate interior.
Interior.
Okay. The last ones, are they on the interior or the exterior?
Interior.
Interior. On the same side or are they on
Side.
same side? So we have same side interior angles. You will not need to know a relationship if these are equal, if they do certain things for each other. You just need their vocabulary. This is a different way of taking notes, just a little bit more interactive, where you can actually quiz yourself when you're done. All right. We've learned some new vocabulary. We've learned some new postulates. Your homework will be practicing these vocabulary words. Okay? They're going to give you pictures and ask if they're alternate, interior, and so forth. But I'm going to pause this now and give you a little more explanation.